Test 1 2 3. I think I record. If you are a new subscriber, Blood Blender Tutorials. Hi guys. Today I'm gonna show you Procedural Street Shader, and it's fucking cool because I have control on the how wide the road is. I have control on the texturing on the road, on the ground, and all the buildings. So we have road, ground, and buildings, and we have texturing. Every different texture you can add on those stuff, and you have control how wide the road is and how deep the road is, if that makes sense. How right here deep, I can make it right here, something like this, or maybe a little bit deep, yes, if that makes sense, the road. So it's very cool. And you have buildings, you basically have control over how much buildings you're gonna have. So I'm gonna check the record. This video gonna be a little long, so speed up this video 2 times, it's gonna be watchable. Basically I'm just adding a plane, subdivide the plane by 100 times, change the engine to the cycles right here, tone the values down, add denoiser right here, and go to the materials tab, click new materials, and on the settings right here, change this to the displacement only, or maybe displacement and bump only, if that makes sense. Now you can search those nodes by Shift A, and like I said, it's very cool because I have control one more time on the texture, on the road, on the ground, and on the buildings, and I can add more buildings. I have control on the height of the buildings, and it's very cool shader. So yeah, maybe you can build more to this if you want, if you can. Basically you can search those nodes by Shift A. I'm just gonna show you the setup for the road, if that makes sense. So I have textures coordinate right here, connect from object, it's very important to separate X, Y, and Z. And I just separate X value, this kind of direction, yes, right here. And I have math node add, and just copy those values, okay? Right here, math, just change this to add right here. So just duplicate this math node and change this to inverse square root, if that makes sense, right here. Wait guys, I'm gonna bring this right here. So I have 2 math nodes, add and inverse whatever square root, and just duplicate by Shift D this math node and change this to less than. And this basically I have the controller right here how wide the road is, okay? I can make this kind of wide, very wide on this plane, or maybe I can make this very little wide, if that makes sense, yes, road. So you have the controller right here. I have values by like 1.4, and just add color ramp and switch those values. It's very important. So this is the white and this is the black right here. So switch on the color ramp, the values, the colors, and you just add another math node right here and change this to divide. And basically you have the controller how deep the road is, if that makes sense. So you can make it very deep, like kind of this kind of, or maybe a little bit, yes, deep road compared to the another stuff, yes, you get the idea. This is the deep value, and I have minus 85.3 whatever, played those values, but basically I'm just switching those color ramp, and on the minus you just adjusting the deep values on this road, yes. Now this is the setup for the road, and basically, wait guys, I'm gonna just bring this fucking stuff right here just to show you. Wait guys, and I'm just adding a color dodge right here, mix RGB, change this to color dodge, and you have the controller change the color, second color to white, and you have the controller right here how deep a little bit is. So main controller how deep is right here, but right here you can cut the values too, okay? So I have it right here, something in the middle, and this goes guys to another mix RGB right here to the first color, okay? So build this fucking nodes. Now I'm gonna show you the setup for the fucking buildings. This is the same like in the previous tutorial. So basically I have the setup like, oh wait guys, I'm gonna zoom in. Textures coordinate, of course, connect to the mapping to have more control on this shit. And this goes to brick texture, of course, to the vector right here. And I have right here on the first color Vanoi texture, and I'm changing this to 4D, and I have right here the controller, and basically this is the setup for the buildings, if that makes sense. So first color, just connect this right here on the brick texture, this Vanoi texture right here to have more detail on the roofs. Okay, this is some kind of sci-fi looking stuff. And you have the controller. I have those kind of values: 0.6, 1, 0.12, 0.10, 0.3, 0.35, and you can change in right here on the white, right here on the scale too, and right here you can change on the scale and on this kind of parameter if you're gonna change this to 4D. So you have the controller right here on the buildings, yes, if that makes sense, on the displacement right here that is happening. Now I'm gonna show you more setup. Wait guys, cause it's hard to manage this cause I have broken mouse like my life. Basically you connect this, yes, color dodge and mix RGB right here, but this brick texture goes to the second color on this mix RGB right here, yes, that we connecting all this shit from this road, if that makes sense, setup. So this goes to the first color and brick texture, and this all setup goes to the second color right here. Now this brick texture goes, of course, to, wait guys, I'm gonna zoom in, bring those kind of values right here, goes right here to multiply. So math node multiply, I have values like 0.5, and this multiply this brick texture right here from color goes to scale right here. Vector math, change this to scale, I have something like 1. And this is the setup basically to change the color, yes, of those buildings, to have control of the texturing of those buildings. And you just add in mix RGB, yes, right here. So this vector math, just add this to the second color right here. Okay, and basically this mix RGB that we connect this all shit, yes, from the road and from the brick texture, yes, first color, second color, we connect this mix RGB right here to the mix texture too. Okay, right here on the first color I have connect this. I know this is a little bit mess, but if you're gonna follow this, just follow those steps, it's working guys, trust me on this one. And basically I'm adding color ramp to the factor on those mix RGB that we connect this brick and road setup on this factor right here, yes, and I have right here cut the white values right here on the middle, the black goes, and this goes to another color ramp, and basically I have the blackness right here, something like this. So this is like in the previous tutorials on this procedural street, but I built more to this, but this is the same setup. And if you want to see what the nodes do, just select the node, control shift and left click, and you're gonna see what its nodes doing. If you have node wrangler right here on the preferences, search for the add-ons node wrangler, and you're gonna see what its node doing. So I have the blackness right here and the whiteness right here, this mix RGB, yes, this goes to the factor, and this old setup goes to the right here, yes, first color, second color. This mix RGB goes to the color ramp, I cut the black right here, I cut the white, I'm sorry, and black goes right here, and this goes basically to the mix shader on the factor. And I'm connecting right here this principal BSDF to the first shader, and basically guys, I'm gonna show you because I don't show you this setup. I have connect this right here. I have three principal values, yes, so one goes right here on this mix shader, yes, on the first, and I have two principal volumes to have texture on the road and on the ground. So I have two principal volumes, connect this to the mix shader right here, two, and this mix shader goes to the second color, yes, right here, and this setup for the buildings goes to the second right here shader. So those two goes to the first second shader, and this setup, yes, goes to the right here, but we must connect right here on the factor this setup, yes, on those road, this is the road and this is the ground texturing, yes, but we must connect to the factor color ramp, guys. Color ramp just connect to the factor, and you're gonna have results like this is the road and this is the fucking color, yes, and you can change the color. I'm gonna show you on the picture, maybe on this video, like I can change the colors on the ground, on the road and on the buildings. So this is the setup. Color ramp goes to the factor, and this goes to the first shader, yes, this principle, and another principle goes to the second, yes, and you can connect some texturing if you want, yes, of course. This is very important, yes, to add some texturing on the road and to add texturing on the ground and on the buildings, so we have more control on this. I know this is little complicated, but not that much, guys. This is not that complicated. And basically this all setup, yes, this mix shader goes to the second right here, and this is from the buildings, yes, principle goes to the first shader, and this color ramp, those blackness, goes to the factor, and this goes to the right here. And basically you add in displacement right here from this mix RGB, that you connect this color dodge right here to the first color, and you connect this brick texture to the second color. So this mix goes basically to the displacement on the height, and displacement goes to the displacement. This is the setup. This is not that complicated, guys. Just follows those steps. I'm gonna do very quick recap because I repeat myself on those videos, but this is not that complicated, guys. I'm gonna one more time show you the setup, okay, faster. Textures coordinate from object, separate x, y, and z from x, because this is just one direction, yes, and mad node at 0.1 goes to the inverse square root, one more math node. This goes to the less than and one more math node, yes, this is. So I have values 1.4. This goes to the color ramp, just switch the values, yes, to white right here, black right here. This goes to another math node right here, as you can see, and this is divide, and you controlling the depth of the fucking road. So I have minus 85 or whatever, and this goes to the color dodge right here. The first color, change the color to white, to the second color dodge, mix RGB, change color dodge. You control the depth too a little bit, and this goes basically to another right here mix RGB, but you just add mix, yes, right here to the first color. And this goes, you just add in textures coordinate, connect to the mapping, and brick texture right here, and Vanoy texture on the first color add, and the mapping goes to the vector right here, yes, texture coordinate and mapping goes to the vector. This Vanoy texture go to the first color right here to add more detail on the roofs, and this brick texture, I'm gonna show you the values to copy those values, okay. I have it right here, 0.6, 1, 2, 1, 0, 0, 3, 0, 3, 5, whatever. You changing this scale on the buildings, of course, the position of the buildings and the height of the buildings on this brick texture. And this goes to the second color on this mix RGB that we connect this all shit to the road. Yes, basically. And this goes to this kind of setup, yes, like you just add in right here math node, yes, to have different texture in math node. Multiply 0.5 goes to the vector transform scale 1. I repeat this shit and it's annoying to me. I know this is annoying to you too. And this vector math scale 1 goes to the first color on this mix RGB, and on the second color this goes mix RGB2, goes to the first color right here. We connect this all shit on the road and on the buildings on the first color right here, and this vector math, the scale goes to the second color. And this basically goes, this mix RGB goes to the color ramp, turn the black right here, cut the white, yes, and you can add another color ramp and just cut right here the black, the white on the middle right here. You just turn the black right here, and this goes to the factor on the shade mix shader. So this goes to the factor, and this goes basically to the fucking principal BSDF or whatever shader you want on the buildings. Just connect this to the first shader, yes, right here, and you can shade those stuff, yes, the road and the ground basically right here. You have the setup, yes, you have the setup right here through principal volumes, principal principal shader or whatever it's called, yes, right here, principal BSDF 1 and 2. Mix this to mix shader right here, first, second, yes, mix second shader, and this color ramp right here that we switch in the values goes to the factor, and you controlling the colors right here on the road and on the ground. And this mix shader goes basically to the first shader right here on the shader 1, and this is for the buildings to shader 2, and this color ramp goes to the factor. This is not that complicated, guys, fuck. And basically you just connect this mix RGB that you connect this brick stuff setup and this road and ground setup. This mix RGB basically goes to the displacement on the height, and displacement goes to the fucking displacement right here, and this mix shader that we connect all shit goes to the surface right here. And you have the setup, guys. It's not that complicated. Build this, it's cool. I have controller on the buildings. You can add the texture rays on the road and on the fucking ground, and you can add more buildings, of course. You can change the width of the road, yes, and the depth of the road, if that makes sense. It's fucking cool. It's not that complicated. Okay, thank you for watching, guys. Build this because it's cool. Yeah, fuck this tutorial. I know I repeat myself 10 times. It's annoying to me too. So yeah, thank you for watching. See you on the next video, guys.